Hey there, everyone. I'm Dr. Chloe Bennett, and I've been helping men just like you take charge of their health and vitality for over 25 years now. Today, I want to talk to you about something that most people completely overlook, a natural product that's been sitting right there in your kitchen cabinet, maybe for years, and it has the power to fundamentally change your manhood, your energy, your drive, everything. Have you ever wondered why some men over 60 still have the energy and strength of a guy half their age, while others are totally wiped out by the time they hit 50? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's not about expensive pills. It's not about some complicated therapy your doctor hasn't told you about. The answer is so much simpler than that, and honestly, it might already be sitting on your kitchen shelf. Honey? Yeah, you heard me right. But I'm not talking about that little plastic bear from the grocery store. I'm talking about real, raw, unprocessed honey, the kind you get from a local beekeeper, the kind that folks have been producing in this country for generations. From the valleys of Vermont to the wildflower fields of Texas, from the orange groves in Florida to the clover pastures of the Midwest, America's got some of the finest honey in the world. In my 25 plus years of practicing medicine, I've seen every fad come and go. But what I'm about to tell you about honey, this is backed by hard science. Real research, real results. Let me tell you a story. A few months back, a patient walked into my office. Let's call him Tom. Tom's 63 years old, retired mechanic from right here in the suburbs of Chicago. Good man, hard worker his whole life. He sat down across from me and said, "Doc, I just don't feel like a man anymore. The energy's gone, the drive's gone, and my wife, well, you know how it is." I knew that story all too well. I'd heard it hundreds of times. But what Tom didn't know was that his answer wasn't going to come from the pharmacy. Before I tell you what I recommended to Tom, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your body as you get older. It all comes down to testosterone, the most important hormone for us men. Starting around age 40, your testosterone levels drop by about 1 to 2% every single year. Doesn't sound like much, right? But do the math. By the time you're 60, you've already lost 20 to 40%. And you can feel it. The constant fatigue, no motivation, problems in the bedroom. And that gut that just keeps getting bigger no matter what you do. A lot of doctors, and yeah, I'll be honest, I used to be one of them early in my career, they'll just look at you and say, well, that's just part of getting older. But you know what? That's nonsense. You do not have to just sit there and accept that. Now here's where it gets really interesting. A study published in the Journal of Food Science found something absolutely fascinating. The phenolic compounds in honey, those are natural plant chemicals, can actually protect the cells in your testes, right where testosterone is produced, from oxidative stress. Think of it this way. Your testosterone factory is being attacked by free radicals, kind of like rust eating away at an old Chevy. The honey acts like a protective coating that stops that rust in its tracks. But it gets even better. Have you ever heard of boron? It's a trace mineral that's found in really good quality honey. Multiple scientific studies have shown that boron can increase testosterone levels in men over 60 by up to 28%. And here's the kicker. Within just 1 week. Yeah, 1 week. Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds way too good to be true. And I totally get your skepticism. That's why you need to understand how this actually works. Honey contains natural sugars, mainly fructose and glucose, that give your body quick available energy. Your Leydig cells, those are the cells in your testes that manufacture testosterone. They need that energy to do their job. Think of your testosterone production like an old watermill on a river. When the river runs low, the wheel barely turns. Honey is like a good heavy rainstorm. Suddenly, that mill's got all the power it needs to start grinding again. That's exactly what's happening inside your body. But here's the thing, and this is really important, not all honey is created equal. Most of the honey you find at your local grocery store has been pasteurized. That means it's been heated up, and when they do that, a ton of the beneficial compounds get destroyed. It's like buying a Mustang, but somebody already ripped the engine out. What you need is real, raw, unprocessed honey. The best way to get it, go straight to a local beekeeper. And let me tell you, we are blessed in this country. Every single state has amazing beekeepers. Whether you're in upstate New York, the hills of North Carolina, the plains of Kansas, down in the bayous of Louisiana, or out in the Pacific Northwest, there are folks producing incredible honey right in your backyard. Check your local farmer's market. Talk to the beekeepers there. These people are passionate about what they do, and they'll happily tell you exactly where their honey comes from, what flowers the bees visited, how it was harvested. That's the kind of honey you want. Now, I already know the question a lot of you are asking. But doc, I've got diabetes. Can I even eat honey? That's a totally fair question, and I hear it almost every single day in my practice. Here's my answer based on over 25 years of experience. Yes, you can use honey, but you gotta be smart about it. If you've got type 2 diabetes, it's absolutely critical that you start with small amounts. I'm not talking tablespoons here. I'm talking half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon per day. Timing matters too. Never take honey on an empty stomach. The best approach is to combine it with protein or healthy fats. Mix it into some plain Greek yogurt or have it with a handful of walnuts or almonds. And here's a little trick I teach all my patients. Check your blood sugar. Take a small amount of honey. Wait 30 minutes, see how your body responds. With most of my patients who have well-managed diabetes, I don't see any dramatic spikes, especially when they're using the honey the right way. But, and I want to be crystal clear about this, talk to your own doctor first. Every body is different, and your physician knows your specific situation. Another question I get a lot is from men who've been through prostate cancer treatment. They're cancer-free now, thank God, but their sexual function isn't what it used to be. Can honey help? I gotta be straight with you here. Honey is not a miracle cure. If surgery, radiation, or hormone therapy damaged nerves or blood vessels, honey can't undo that. But, and this is important, honey can help improve your overall circulation and boost your energy levels. Combined with other natural approaches I'll talk about in a minute, you can absolutely see real improvements. I've had patients who, after prostate cancer treatment, used a holistic approach that included honey and actually got back to having a satisfying intimate life. It takes work, but it's possible. All right, let me show you exactly how to use honey the right way. This isn't rocket science, but there are a few rules you gotta follow. Rule number 1, only use raw, unprocessed honey. How do you know if it's the real deal? Simple. Real honey crystallizes over time. If your honey's been sitting in the cabinet for months and it's still perfectly clear and runny, it's probably been processed. Crystallized honey isn't bad honey. It's actually a sign that it's the genuine article. Rule number 2. The dose matters. 1 to 2 teaspoons per day is plenty. More is not automatically better. Remember, even though it's natural, honey is still sugar. Rule number 3. Never heat honey above 104 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of folks make the mistake of stirring honey into piping hot coffee or tea. That kills the beneficial enzymes. Let your drink cool down a bit first. Warm is fine, hot is not. Here's my personal recipe, the exact same one I gave to Tom. In the morning, about 30 minutes before breakfast, take 1 teaspoon of raw honey along with a small handful of walnuts or almonds. The healthy fats from the nuts help keep your blood sugar stable, while the nutrients in the honey do their work. You can also stir the honey into lukewarm water, but it's got to be lukewarm, not hot. In the evening, about 2 hours before bed, take another half teaspoon. This supports your body's overnight recovery process. And here's something most people don't know. The majority of your testosterone production actually happens at night while you're sleeping. Good sleep is one of the single most important factors for maintaining healthy testosterone. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. Now let's talk about finding the right honey, because this trips a lot of people up. In America, we've got great options, but you need to know what to look for. Skip the grocery store. I mean it. Most supermarket honey, even the ones with fancy labels that say pure or natural, are often blends from multiple sources, sometimes not even from this country, and they've been pasteurized to death. What you want is honey direct from the beekeeper. Hit up your local farmer's market. If you're near a major city, there's probably one every weekend. In Chicago, we've got the Green City Market. In New York, there's the Union Square Green Market. Down in Austin, they've got SFC Farmers Market. But honestly, every town in America has something. Ask the beekeeper, is this honey raw and unprocessed? Has it been heated? A good beekeeper will proudly tell you that their honey was only strained, never heated. Look at the honey. If it's slightly crystallized or has a cloudy appearance, that's a great sign. It means it's been left in its natural state. Crystal clear, perfectly liquid honey has almost certainly been processed. Pay attention to the variety too. America produces some incredible types: clover honey, wildflower, buckwheat, orange blossom, tupelo, sourwood. Each one has its own unique properties. For our purposes, for testosterone support, the darker varieties like buckwheat or wildflower are especially good because they contain more minerals and antioxidants. And yeah, real beekeeper honey costs more. You're looking at maybe 12 to 20 bucks for a jar. But think about it. At 1 teaspoon a day, that jar is going to last you months. That's maybe $5 to $7 a month, less than what you'd spend on a bottle of supplements from the drugstore that probably don't even work. Now let me hit on something really important that a lot of people miss. Honey alone is not a magic bullet. I tell my patients this all the time. There's no pill, no shot, no natural remedy that's going to do all the work for you. Honey is an excellent tool, but it works best as part of a healthy lifestyle. What does that mean in real terms? First, movement. You don't have to train for a marathon, but regular exercise, 3 times a week, 30 minutes of brisk walking, swimming, or riding a bike. It makes an enormous difference. Strength training is especially important because building muscle is directly connected to testosterone production. Even basic stuff, some push-ups, resistance bands, a couple of dumbbells in the garage, that counts. Second, diet. Cut back on sugar and processed junk. Eat more vegetables, good fats from nuts and olive oil, quality protein. And look, a cold beer on a Saturday afternoon? That's fine. I'm not going to tell you to give that up. But alcohol in large quantities is poison for your testosterone. Keep it reasonable. Third, stress management. Chronic stress is one of the biggest testosterone killers out there. Find ways to decompress. Go fishing. Spend time with the grandkids. Work on a project in the shop. Get out in the yard. A lot of my older patients swear by their garden, and you know what? The research actually backs that up. Time spent outdoors in nature lowers cortisol levels, and when cortisol goes down, testosterone goes up. Let me come back to Tom, the guy I told you about at the beginning. I recommended exactly what I've just shared with you. Raw, unprocessed honey every single day, combined with a few lifestyle changes. No expensive prescriptions, no complicated treatment plans. About 6 weeks later, he walked back into my office, and I'm telling you, it was like looking at a different man. He had more energy, he'd lost about 10 pounds, and most importantly to him, the problems in the bedroom had gotten a whole lot better. "Doc," he said to me, "I feel like I'm 40 again. My wife keeps asking what you gave me." I had to laugh. What I gave him wasn't anything mysterious, just good old-fashioned natural medicine combined with common sense. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every patient sees results as dramatic as Tom's. Everybody is different. Every person has their own story, their own challenges. But in my 25 years of medicine, I've seen time and time again that the simplest solutions are often the most powerful. Nature has given us everything we need. We just have to use it the right way. I want to talk about something else real quick. Something most men don't like to bring up. The emotional side. When your manhood starts to fade, when the strength goes, when the drive disappears, it hits you right at the core of who you are. I've seen patients who spiraled into depression over this. They felt like failures, useless, old. But listen to me, that is not your fault. It's biology, and it is definitely not your destiny. You have way more control over this than you think. Every little improvement, every extra bit of energy, every moment where you feel like yourself again, that's a win. Celebrate those wins, even the small ones. And talk to your partner about it. So many of my patients are ashamed to discuss these things with their wives. But you know what? Most partners are way more understanding than you'd expect. They just want you to be healthy and happy. Bring her along on this journey. Maybe she can help you find the right honey at the farmer's market. Maybe you two start taking evening walks together. Make it a team effort. Let me leave you with a few things you can do right now, today. Go out this week and buy a jar of raw, unprocessed honey from a local beekeeper or farmer's market. Start tomorrow morning. 1 teaspoon of honey with a few nuts, half an hour before breakfast. Do it consistently for 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks. Your body needs time to respond. Keep a little journal. Write down how you're feeling each day. Energy level, mood, sleep quality. After 3 weeks, look back and compare. I'm willing to bet you'll notice positive changes. If you've got diabetes, check your blood sugar regularly and adjust the amount accordingly. And combine the honey with some other natural boosters. I often recommend high-quality extra virgin olive oil to my patients, a tablespoon a day over a salad. It does wonders for your vascular health, and good blood flow is essential for, well, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, and here's a bonus tip. Pumpkin seeds. Yeah, those little green seeds. They're packed with zinc, and zinc is absolutely critical for testosterone production. A handful of pumpkin seeds a day, maybe mixed in with your honey and nuts in the morning. That's a powerful combination right there. What I've shared with you today isn't based on some internet trend or the latest fad. It's based on scientific research, centuries of natural medicine, and my own 25 years of working with thousands of patients. Honey is one of the oldest healing substances known to mankind. The ancient Greeks knew about its power. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, prescribed honey for all kinds of ailments. Today, we have the science to explain why it works. We understand the mechanisms, the biochemistry. But the principle is the same. Nature gives us what we need. We just got to pay attention and use it right. One last thing. Be patient. In today's world, everybody wants instant results, instant solutions. But your body doesn't work that way. Healing takes time. Change takes time. Give your body that time. Be consistent, but also be kind to yourself. And when you start feeling that improvement after a few weeks, when the energy comes back, when the joy of living returns, you'll know that you had the power all along. You're not helpless. You can do something about this. And that, my friends, might just be the most important thing of all. So what are you going to do right now? Simple. Get up, go out, get yourself some good honey and start. Today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Your body will thank you for it. If you want to learn more about how to improve your health and vitality naturally, stick around on this channel. In my next video, I'm going to talk about something that's almost as important as honey, high-quality oils, and what they can do for your manhood. You're going to be surprised what a good flaxseed oil or walnut oil can do. Until then, I'm wishing you health, strength, and joy in life. And remember, age is just a number. What matters is how you feel. Make the most of every single day.